let's start like I always start, and may you please introduce yourself to everyone.
My name is Alec Bradbury. Play blues and other stuff with my saxophone, and probably just about get away with it, I'd say.
I would say a lot more than that. You are more than competent.
I try.
And talking, so are those your two main saxophones? Or
Right.
your two only ones, or?
So that one behind, the big one, is my tenor, which is the one I use most of the time.
Right.
That's a German one, and it's cheap and cheerful.
Okay.
Because I go into some really interesting places when I go to jams. And the silver one is a C melody,
Right.
which are quite rare now, and that's 124 years old.
Wow.
And I found that on eBay, and it hadn't sold, and apparently they're not worth much, but I just like the fact that it's 124 years old. What has that seen?
Yeah, right. Who's played it?
Who's played
Where's
it?
it been played?
So
Yeah.
it would have been in America during the era of the Prohibition and everything else.
What? Yeah, right, yeah.
So you got all that, and it'd be like, you so wish you could have a time capsule and just go back and have a look where that's been. And it'd have been in a band somewhere.
Well, I'm going to date this now, this interview, because currently on Radio 4 on I can't remember whether it was this morning or yesterday morning, there's a 4-part series going on in the morning, must have been yesterday morning. A famous jazz saxophone player is talking about 1925 in New York. 4-part series where he's going through winter, spring, summer, and then autumn.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, check it out. I think you might like
I'm
that.
going to have a look at that.
It's not only jazz music, he's also looking at some of what's going on in the greater culture of things.
That'd be cool.
But there's I didn't realise like the mayor of New York at that time was quite an interesting character, to say the least. But the jazz scene does come into it, and obviously he's a saxophone player himself, so he...
That would be interesting. Yeah, funny enough, I'm actually not a huge jazz fan.
Right, okay.
So it's like... I mean, it's good, but it just doesn't particularly do it for me.
Right, okay.
So I like...
Well, that's okay, because this is the Blues Jam podcast.
I know,
not
it's
the
a
Jazz
Blues
Jam
Jam podcast. So.
But we got love for the jazz players, and we know that there's a crossover. But yeah.
So yeah, I got sort of the blues sort of did it for me, and I think that was really the sort of the bread and butter. And it's interesting because if I'm learning something, I'll go back into the blues mode to try and learn something.
Okay.
So I've got, you see my wall that's covered in scribbles.
You can't see this, but there's like what's that, like cellophane or something up on the wall, so that you can write music theory stuff up there.
It's that plastic stuff that you stick on the wall.
Plastic.
And dry white marker.
Yes.
So when I get an idea,
right,
or I do something that's actually right, I think I'll scribble it down quick.
Write that down quick.
And then I leave it there for about 3 months and forget what it was. But I do come back to it eventually, and then I start incorporating that. Because I don't know music theory, and I can't read music.
Right.
I probably could if I tried, but I tend to sort of fiddle around, and then I get something and I write it down on there, so it's all coded in the way that I.
That you are, because I was gonna ask, is there like a shorthand? Is there a but a general recognised one for the saxophone? Because I know that harmonica players have their own way of explaining, or like harmonica specific music. With guitar, we have something called tab with the 6 lines that represent.
There probably is, but I don't know.
Right. Okay.
That's Alec's shorthand.
You've created your own. Brilliant.
Only because I used to teach. I used to teach martial arts and stuff like that, and so I'm always scribble something up when I get an idea.
Right.
usually after a couple of glasses of wine and an idea falls into my head and it's like, I'm ready to capture that quick. I just write it on the wall. Well, apparently my future daughter-in-law's going to stop here the night before her wedding and apparently she's going to get done here. I've been told I've got to clean the wall.
Oh.
It's like, I've got to clean the wall.
Oh dear, right.
Oh well, it's alright because it makes me put it all down properly.
Well, it can just peel off, right? I mean, you don't actually have to...
Oh no, I'm wiping it clean.
Oh right, okay.
I'll record everything and then clean it and then start fresh.
Start all over again.
Yeah,
Straight
that
away.
corner. I'm not doing that corner.
Write a book, then burn it.
Yeah.
Start all over again.
Start all over again. So yeah.
You've got the circle of fifths up there.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
That took ages.
Right, okay. That was you working it out yourself?
Yeah.
Right.
So that took ages, but yeah.
Oh, is that right? So is that because right? So your main one. So you're saying the bigger one is that the one you bring to the blues jams?
Yeah, and that's in a concert pitch.
The smaller one or the bigger one? The
smaller one.
So what's the bigger one tune? Is it
That's
tuned
B
for
flat.
something? Right. So it's only playing the notes out of the B flat.
It plays the
Major
B
scale.
flat, but so if you said to me you are playing in G major,
Yeah.
for me that is A major. So I have to
Right.
transpose
Okay.
up a whole tone,
Right. One whole tone up. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
which makes me sound clever, but I'm not. But I only talk in concert pitch
Right. Which is a
because
small one.
because I automatically transpose now. But I have had people come up to me, oh, that's G major, that's it, and it's like, no, don't tell me my pitch. I'll
You're working.
I'll work it out because as soon as they tell me that, I get confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? Which did? And it's like,
Because it sounds like what you've done then is a little bit one thing I've picked up is that because music theory is so vast.
oh, it's huge.
Yeah. That some people have only learned what's necessary for them and the style of what they do and what they do.
That's actually quite interesting because I learned certain few things that are really good, and then other stuff springs off it. So I was saying before, I went back. Every time I go back to the blues when I'm learning something, I enjoy blues jams, but I go to hip hop jams,
Right.
funk, reggae. I was in India in October last year. I ended up playing Bollywood music,
Brilliant.
but it all, I think, blues, and then that allows me to
And then
adapt
transcribe it from there,
to
right.
anywhere else.
Okay.
And I say, it works for me. It works for me, and I think one of the interesting ones, I got my sax teachers in Bath, Mark Archer, and I've been with him about 8 years now, I think it is. And he said there's 3 things a good sax player should have. He says, one, pardon me, remember, it's all about the singer.
Right.
He says, it's always about the singer. He says, you don't cut over him, you don't cross over him, you concentrate on the singer. The second one is be able to play quietly.
Right.
So you can go underneath.
Nice. Okay.
Which is, you haven't heard me now, you don't understand where I'm coming from. And it says the third one is know when to shut up.
Right. You can swear. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, know when to shut the fuck up then.
Yeah.
So that was like,
I think that third one is critical to everyone.
it is. But the interesting thing is, yeah, I'm alright, I get away with it. But those 3 things have got me invited to more things
Right.
than anything else.
By you keeping them in mind and
Keeping them in
and
mind, so
applying them. Right.
singers like me playing with them because I don't trample them.
Right.
I have seen before now where a sax player has been kicked off stage. A singer's just got so big, so cut across the singer, and they go, look at me. And the singer's trying to sing, and the singer just looks at me and goes, and they literally
Right.
kicked him off stage. And you know, and I totally get it because, you know, wait your turn. You know, be respectful and all those sort of things. And that's got me more invites than anything else. And was it the one I was in when I first started exploring going to the world? I ended up in a bar in Barcelona, bikers bar.
Right.
So I went with my mate Matt, and we walked up this hill on the outskirts of Barcelona. So we took a tube. It took us an hour to get there. And we walk up this hill. I had no idea it was a bikers bar. And Matt looks at me and goes, "Where the fuck have you just brought us?" And as he said that, this bloke comes out the bar, looks across at us two and goes, "What the fuck do you two want?" I'm like, "Ah, that doesn't sound very Catalan to me."
Yeah.
Well, the jam. Anyway, we got invited in. We went in, Bar Lips it was, and there's a long dark bar and stage at the end and everything else. And Matt was like, I said, "Get a beers in, Matt." He said, "I can't speak Spanish." It's Catalan, not Spanish.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I get a bit touchy about that. "Can't speak Catalan." I just took beers. Anyway, got set up. Did the thing, got invited up on stage, did 3, as you do, politely do 3. That's what I'm getting down. No, más saxo. And it's like, oh, okay. And I had all these bikers gibbering to me in a language I couldn't understand. And they're dancing and I was thinking, shit, if I got away with this. And it was quite funny because then at the end of it, and I felt sorry for Matt because he just drinking beers all night while I was playing. And at the end of it, this guy comes up, and it turns out his name's Larry. A really nice guy, actually. He's like, "Really nice." He says, "You've got a really nice sound out of that." "Oh, thank you very much." And he says, "More importantly," he says, "you don't trample over everybody like most sax players do." Oh, cool. He says, "Would you like to come to Jazz Petite on Tuesday nights? There's a jam on there." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And then I ended up sort of loosely on the Barcelonian music scene. So I used to go to Barcelona twice a year, and then ended up playing there.
So when was this? Because you said this was at the beginning of your sort of...
Yeah, it's about 2000, I want to say 2018, so it wasn't that long before COVID.
Right.
So I only had a couple of years. And I was like, yeah, it was good because my original aim was I want to be able to play anywhere in the world with a band.
Right. So hang on, let's backpedal a little bit because I haven't really followed my normal format. When did you first learn to start the saxophone? What was it that made you choose a saxophone over anything else?
I first had a go when I was 27 and I gave up.
Right.
Then I had a go at 37 and I gave up. Then I had a go at 47 because I was like, I'll just keep doing this. And I did what everybody else did. Learned to play tunes.
Right.
Summertime. And I did that for about 3 or 4 years, I think. And I was like, this is alright as long as they're playing Summertime in A minor. But what happens if they're playing it something else? And I didn't even know about jamming then.
Right.
And I was in the left bank in Bristol.
And how long ago was this, if you don't know?
That'll be about...
Because people will be able to work out your age. So whether you are divulge such a...
It would be about 2015-ish.
Right.
And these guys were doing all this amazing playing. I said, oh, right. I said, how are they playing? They haven't got music, have they? Oh, they're jamming. That's a song by Bob Marley. No, they're jamming. What's that? They're improvising.
They're making it up as they go along.
And so, what's that? It's spontaneous composition. Right. What? Spontaneous composition. And I went to a sax teacher, and he said, I've been waiting for you to ask me this question. And I was like, oh, okay. And he says, right, down the scale. Down a scale, picked a scale. Before I even started sax, I didn't even know what a scale was.
Right.
So I had no idea. And so I went up there and says, right. He says, miss out the middle note and stick that at the top. Now run up and down the scale. He says, now you're improvising. Okay. And I spent the next 3 years playing to backing tracks to learn how to improvise. Over and over and over and over and over again. Bear in mind, I'd never played a musical instrument before.
So this was the third time you picked it up at 47?
Yeah.
In 2015, were you saying?
I initially picked it up at 2011.
Right.
I thought, you know, as you do.
Yeah.
Quite happy walking along with a sax bag on my back because it
Looking
looks
cool.
Yeah, cool. Use those nod. But I didn't really sort of get into it until probably about 2015.
Right.
2016, more or less. I just spent near enough 20 minutes, half hour a day just playing to backing tracks.
Yeah, the reason you got such a big reaction out of me then is because that's very similar to my story.
Cool.
And I think there's something in that. Maybe there's ways of learning licks and learning different things that you can apply to jamming. And then maybe there's also just going through years of playing utter shit.
Oh yeah, completely, that's a crap.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awful.
Yeah. And just feeling like all I'm doing is dancing around a scale here. How can I make it musical? How can I make it sound bluesy? Yeah. And you just, for me, and I don't know if it was the same for you, maybe it was, it's just that repetition of like, right, don't go there, go here, and oh yeah, actually, okay, alright, that's not so bad. And you start creating your own licks, and you start creating your own feel of stuff, and you're like, and you get a feel of if I jump from here to here in the scale, that actually sounds quite bluesy and sounds alright, but only do it at this point, don't do it. Because you get a feel of like the 12 bar and where to do it and when to do it, yeah. I mean, none of that, all that will go straight out of my head this evening when I'm up. Because when you're in front of people and the singer looks at you and goes, your turn, I'm like, what? Yeah. And it's like you've never picked up the thing in your life. You're like, what do I do now?
And you hit the nail on the head, I think, because I was a lifelong martial artist. So more years than I even want to think about, so I started when I was about 15.
Right.
And I ended up teaching for 25 years and so on and so forth. And all it is, repetition, 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 repetition. When you're bored, do some more. Yeah. And that's all I've done music. I have, people come up and say, oh, it must be great to have such talent. And I go, I don't have any talent.
No, I've got hard work. That's what
no talent.
Yeah.
I said, the only thing I do have is I don't give up easily, apart from when I was 27 and 37. But we'll move past that. But repetition, and it's just like keep repeating, and that's all I do. And it's quite funny now because I've got a week-long course in Spain in September with Snake Davis, and so it's a sax camp for a week.
Nice.
And I booked it about 3 months ago, and I'm like, so I'm doing about an hour and a half a day now. So
just to try and be good enough to go on that camp, right? Yeah.
I mean, I hope I would be good enough, but suddenly, so the learning doesn't start when I go there. The learning's starting over here, where it's like, I need to up my game. And one of the guys that lives with me, Mark. He's only been here about 3 months. He's a musician. And he said the other night, he says, you know what, you're twice as good as when I first came in. And he's thinking, he's only been here 3 months, twice as good. It's quite shameful, really. The 3 months I got twice as good.
Oh no, that's pretty good.
I've doubled my practice time.
Right.
And I'm doing more stuff, and I'm just like really hitting it hard for me. It's an hour and a half a day. It's quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I do it in chunks. I don't do it all
Right.
in one go because I couldn't cope with that. So you got that, and it pushes you, and then people come and say, "Oh, it must be great to be talented." It's like, there's no talent at all.
No.
You can do it.
Well, I'm not naturally musical. I can't work. I'm getting.
I thought he was.
I nearly.
I thought he was. You see.
No. I'm not one of those people that can work things out if I listen to something. I'm getting tiny little bits. Like, again, it's that thing about. It's funny. The more I practice, the luckier I get.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not really getting lucky, am I? I'm putting the work in.
Just put the work in.
And I'm getting a sound. I'm getting a feel for the sound of things now. But yeah, no, I'm not naturally musical at all. I wanted to play. It sounds a bit like you, like I wanted to do it, and we all know the only way to get good at anything is
just chuck
you
time
just
in.
do it. Yeah.
Time under the fingers, time under the belt.
Yeah.
But it's quite funny because I did that sort of 3 years. Have you ever been to the Orchard in Bristol?
Yes.
So I went on one of those meet-up groups.
Right.
I went down to the Orchard and I saw these guys playing and I was like, oh, this is cool. Oh yeah. I didn't find people in the meet-up group, though they probably avoided me. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to come back, I'm going to do this. So I went along a couple of months later, basically been practicing, doing it at the Improvise. And Damien, who I know you've also interviewed for one of these things, he runs it. He's a hard taskmaster.
He is.
He is.
He is.
I
kind of like in a way.
Yeah.
But
He's brilliant, but I think he's Hong Kong Chinese.
yeah, I think that's.
I'm used to Hong Kong Chinese.
Right.
Because I did a Chinese martial arts.
Right. Okay.
So they don't. There's no ifs or buts.
No mucking about.
There's no mucking about. I sort of went along. And I said, I don't want to do any solos. He looks at me, what's the bloody point then? I'm like, okay, I did solos. So you get up there.
Yeah.
You can't get down.
No.
3, 4, 5 songs on the trot. You don't know what they are.
No.
They might tell you the key beforehand if you're lucky. So
I know he's pretty good at that. I'll give him that. He shouts out the key, so you know for sure what it is.
So 3 or 4 songs. Oh God, that was awful. I was absolutely awful. I was like, oh God. So I went away, tail between my legs. I was like, oh. Right, what do I need to improve? So worked on that for a couple of months, went back. Awful. Still awful. Went back a couple of months later. I've redone it again. And I muddled through.
Slightly less than awful.
Slightly less than awful. Mediocre with a capital M. And I was like, and it was brilliant. The guys there were really encouraging. Absolutely fantastic. And then I pretty much went every week for the best part of a year. And you could see Damien whenever I walked in, he just sort of look. And he's got the facial expressions, doesn't he? He just look at her. And he'd grimace. And I'm like, oh David, I'm back. And it was hilarious. But I used to get there and I'm terrified.
Right.
I'd get out of the car, I'd walk, I'd go back to the car, put my sacks back in the boots, climb back in the car. No, you've got to do this. Get out of the car, walk, get in there. I'd have a beard, I'd be like this. I just did it and not realise that most of them have been playing 40 odd years.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And the ones that haven't been playing 40 odd years, the young guitarists, well, the mothers must have had a painful birth because I'm sure they came out with a guitar.
Holding a guitar,
because they're like, they're so good.
Yeah.
And then there's, wow.
Yeah.
But
I can totally relate to that, and I can also really relate to that. I think it's like baptism by fire, isn't it? Going to a jam. Like I can remember the first couple of ones that I went to, just going, "What are you doing? Why are you getting in these people's way? Just leave them alone."
Yeah.
And then that realization of well, I'm only gonna get. Like this is the point. I can either stay in my bedroom playing my guitar, or I can get out there.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that I've done other things that have taught me you're only going to get better by doing it. So suck it up, either have a little cry or get back out there and do it again.
Yeah, we just
Which one are you going to do? Yeah, I didn't know whether you knew that or not. Yeah.
Similar sort of value.
Yeah. Don't go to the skate park and stand on the side holding your board.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any good doing that.
You got to go.
Got to get in there.
And sort of doing that, it was a baptism of fire. And it was like, I dreaded every single moment. And when I played, I couldn't wait to get out of the room.
Right.
I was just like, I just couldn't wait. I've done some really stupid things in my life. Martial artists, I've done some interesting and, let's say, quite dangerous stuff in my life. But nothing has triggered my fear response more than that. I've been on the mats with some of the best martial artists in the world. To bat an eyelid. They're trying to hurt you, so on and so forth. They try and hurt each other, get off, shake hands, happy days. Going to that jam was more scary.
Right.
But what I didn't realise, I'm extremely lucky, A, it was once a week, B, the standards are so high, C, the way is run, you're up.
Yeah.
You can't get down, you can't choose which song you're going to play, and if you fail, Damien has kicked me up the arse before now.
Literally?
Yeah.
Physically?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, I stood there, and when they do a stop.
Right. And you continued on?
And I continued on. And I got this boot up the backside. Where rookies, we normally stop at that point. And I was like, okay, lesson learned. And it didn't bother me because it's like...
It's another lesson. There's the alternative point of view on it, which is that we are the ones up there learning those lessons and not it's very easy to be self-deprecating about like, oh my god, it was really hard, it was really we're the ones who made that leap into jumping up there and putting ourselves in that position.
It's not easy.
There's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that might even be better, but there's a lot of players that are better than me.
Well, yeah, same here.
But they don't make that leap to getting up on the stage.
And that's hard.
Yeah. And so, I take my hat off to anyone who gets up on a jam, on a stage, whether they're expert level or only just picked up a guitar. Or saxophone or harmonica or whatever it is. Yeah.
But it's quite interesting because I watched people on the stage, and I think it was after Damien sort of kicked me up the backside, and I thought, I'm probably playing too much here, which is no one shut
again. I can relate to that. Yep.
And I was like, so I started watching other people when they weren't playing.
Right.
Because you feel like Sperpervergo at a wedding if you're not doing something. So I started watching other people. What are they doing when they're not playing? And you'd have some like me would sort of stand there, awkward, and then you'd have people that were like rolling with it. And I thought, right, okay, I need to copy these people that are rolling with it, so as it gives me the confidence. Not
to hang back and to pull back, right? Yeah.
So you might notice, and it was, I think it's Wynton Marsalis. I was listening to one of his articles or one of his talks, and he says, as a saxophone player, he says, if you cannot play for the first 1.5 minutes, and then you ease yourself in. Oh, play less, make more impact. And if you notice when I go to the blues jam, I very rarely play for the first part of it.
Yeah, you're quite often leant against the wall on the side. I have noticed that, yeah.
Just looking casual.
Just taking it
I've
easy.
learnt that.
Yeah, look casual.
I've learnt that. And then it's like, well, leave it go and leave it for about a minute, and then you come in.
Right.
And the impact is massive. So I'm actually playing less, but having a bit of impact.
Yeah.
But you still got to be brave.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You've got to be brave to stand there, and then you've got to stand there for about a minute, and then not play, and then you're coming in like, hi, I'm here everybody. Yeah. So I just come in with the root note, and then just work off that.
What more is there? Just bang the root note out to start with.
Yeah. But it's quite interesting because I started doing that about 1.5 years ago. And I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. And one of the guys, I played a place in Gloucester at the Cafe Rennie, and one of the guys came and he says, I don't know what you're doing differently, but people are going nuts. And it's only because I didn't play for the first minute.
Make them wait, get them hungry for it.
How cool is that? You know, I could play less,
and it's better. Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, if I go to another jam and there's other sax players in there, it doesn't happen.
Right. They're really
good. Straight in.
Right.
And you get it mixed guitarists where they're like overplaying, and there's you know. There's a guy in Bristol. I won't name him. He plays an alto sax. He's been sax school and all this sort of stuff.
Right.
So he's brilliant. He's a really fantastic player. And he plays a jam session where the rules, it's not like blues where you've got covers or anything. There's no covers. It's free flowing.
Right. It's just total improv.
Total improv.
Right.
And the rules are you can wander in, right? Somebody else is there, so a tune might go on for 20 minutes, half an hour.
With different people coming in and out. Literally walking on stage, doing a bit, walking off.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they do it like a round.
Right.
So there's a certain etiquette. And this guy who was in the house band to start off with, he's playing constantly. And I could see the drummer look at him. And I left at that point at some point later, but I heard of somebody else. Apparently the drummer, who's pretty much 6'2", who's got arms the size of my legs. He sort of went up to it and says, you need to give it some space, man. Give it some space. And the guy stormed off.
Right.
Brilliant sax player.
Yeah, but you're right.
But he wasn't.
Yeah, you've got to allow other people a chance to play, haven't you?
Yeah. So
it's only fair.
And he wasn't allowing other people to play, me included. I mean, it's like I looked at it and I thought, just being so rude because I'm starting. Really? And you can see other people like.
Yeah.
Really? Because it's there. It's all. The etiquette is.
You've got to read the room.
So careful, you read the room, but what happens is, the singers are sometimes bad because it's mostly rappers and they get a constant rap, and then even then they sort of get there's other instrumentalists in this room, and they allow you, so it's good fun. I mean, it is good fun.
So I know that you go to different jams, not only here in the UK, but worldwide, would that be fair to say? European-wide?
Sure, class. Worldwide, borderline. I played in my 21st country the other week, which was Gibraltar. My 20th country was Argentina, so it's almost worldwide.
Yeah, it's pretty far out. Argentina's definitely outside of Europe.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I played in India as well.
Right.
think the most weird place I probably played in is Albania, which was interesting. Israel.
So what's that about? Is that a mission that you have to go and play in different countries?
That was my original plan.
Right.
Like I said, I didn't even know what improv was then. My original plan was, because I found myself on my own, gone through the sort of usual process of divorce and everything else, and my ex-wife, who was my wife then, was the social creature. Right. So I was just a husband of, go on, tracking along, you won't talk to anybody. And I realised that I had to do something to improve my social life.
Right.
And not be reliant on anybody else. So I decided to take sax. It took me 5 years to do it. And I just ended up, I'd say, just playing in so many different countries. I played topical ones at the moment. I've played in Israel, I've played in Palestine, Morocco, Sicily, France, obviously, Spain, numerous times. There's a brilliant bar that you would like in Malaga, and it's called the ZZ Bar.
Right.
And they do a garage punk jam there.
Brilliant.
And it's brilliant, but it doesn't start till 11 o'clock at night. And it's like, I'm going back in the middle of the night, it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and you're walking through sort of Malaga, which is great because there's no tourists then, you see everything lit up. And I'm like, I really need my bed now. But that was my original aim, and 21 countries, which I thought was pretty cool. Really.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think which. Albania. Well, that was an interesting one because there was no jam per se there, but I was determined I was going to play, so I got everybody in the hostel, or people in the hostel. I found a guy from Berlin who used to play on cruise ships, so I managed to find a keyboard.
Brilliant.
For him. Then there was an Irish lady with an amazing voice. Then I found a percussionist, so I was getting all the going around digging, trying to get all this, because I was determined I had to play in Albania.
Of course, yeah.
Because it's Albania. And we ended up playing, but it was interesting because there was 17 different nationalities in the room.
Well, that's what they say about music, isn't it? It crosses verbal language barriers because it is a language of its own. Yeah. So if you know the language of music, it doesn't matter what you speak in terms of verbally.
And that's it. The interest, there was one where it was in Israel, and it was this is where I sort of made my turning point. So I met a Russian guy there, and we went out to get a couple of beers, and he says, "Oh, should we go to a nightclub then?" Okay, I'll go to a nightclub. Anyway, we couldn't get in because we didn't have passports. So he was a bit miffed. Well, I didn't have my passport. He had his passport, I didn't, so he's a bit miffed. So he went back to the hostel. And I was like, no. I said, well, I'm going to get some wine, get some pizza. And Ben went back to the hostel, and he was sat at the back with his guitar, playing guitar. And there was two guys with him. And I can't remember the names. I've got them written down somewhere because my sax teacher's been getting me to capture all this information I've got. And the first guy we're calling say Michel. He says, my name is Michel. I am French, gay and Jewish. Okay, good introduction. And the other one goes, and my name's Pierre. I am French, gay, Jewish and transsexual. I'm like, okay. Anyway, he was playing his guitar. I ended up getting my saxophone out. So we was both playing music to these two guys. It was hilarious. One goes, "Oh, it's so good." I was like, okay. It must have been good because he went to the nightclub next door, bought a bottle of wine, which must have decapitated an arm and a leg, brought it round. It's like, oh, your music's so good, I like the way you play. And I went, okay. Okay. Lovely guy. And of course the French gay Jewish guy who was a transsexual was getting more and more outraged.
Right.
And I was like, Anyway, we finished off the evening and I said to the one guy, I said, oh, do you play? He said, oh yeah, I'm great at piano. And I thought, you definitely got the hots for me because you've been saying I'm so good. And I was shit then, let's make no bones about it. And you got grade 8 piano. I said, okay. Anyway, really nice meeting you. And I departed off to my room. And but for me, 2 amazing and interesting characters, plus obviously the Russian guy who was also an interesting character. But you've got this eclectic mix of characters. I wouldn't have had that. I wouldn't have met those people.
No.
I went, this is it. The other one that also helped, you know when they did the first blues festival here? Quite a while ago.
No, when was that?
About 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
Okay, a little bit before my time of coming here.
It might even be longer than that. And they did a bit of a jam, and I was only really didn't know the jams too well. But do you know Norman, who runs the ETA?
Maybe by face, if I saw him, yeah.
He's always got like the cravat, and he's always well turned out with a jacket and
nice.
Everything else. Lovely guy. And he's well spoken and all this. And me and him ended up jamming on he started playing boogie woogie on the piano.
Nice.
And I sort of joined in with him. And then everybody stopped and listened to us. And again, somebody I probably wouldn't have talked to. I was like, wow, this is cool. I'm getting to meet people that I wouldn't meet. I'm getting to talk to people I wouldn't talk, which was the original idea because I wasn't the sociable one. So that's how it started.
Nice. Nice. So what are your plans? What have you got for the rest of this? We're in July 2025. You've just come back. A little while ago you were playing in, did you say Gibraltar?
Yeah, Gibraltar. That was good. I quite enjoyed that. So I played in Gibraltar.
And what are your plans for the rest of the year?
I've got a couple of festivals coming up, but I don't play in them. I just go along to them. Just doing jam sessions. And then I go to Malaga for a week, and then I got a week-long saxophone camp.
Yeah. Where is that camp then that you're going to?
It's just outside Granada, in Spain.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm quite looking forward to that. And I'm trying to sneak in Malta before the end of the year. Malta is a really cool place for music.
Right, okay. It's not that big, right?
No, it's a small island. Everybody knows everybody. But this has become my new Barcelona, so I go there. I try to go there once a year. And last time I went there, I sort of walked into the crafty cat. Alec, how are you? You brought your sax. I don't know half these bloody people. And they're all giving me hugs and I end up playing music there and leaving it of some obscene hour. And then there's a really good blues guy over there, Tony. I mean, he's like 64, 65. And he's equated, it's up to Tony's standard. Tony Gramond.
Right.
And he lives in Scarborough during the summer. He's Maltese and lives in Malta. He's on a completely different level from most people. I mean, they're really good. They play over in the blues jam.
Right, this guy's...
He is.
Guitarist or saxophone?
Guitarist and singer.
Right.
And he's another level above. And some numbers he likes me to play along with him, so which is cool. And then he said to me, he says, oh, there's a jam on in an island north of Malta. and I can't remember the name of the place now. I wish I could. They'll come back to me. Gozo.
Right.
It's, well, come along. Yeah, okay. So we start off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Bus, another bus, ferry, bus, and we get there for around about 8 o'clock. And then we play from 8 till midnight. Free beer, free food, looked after. We get a lift, which I'm strictly speaking, I'm guessing wasn't legal, because I'm sure the bass player the guy, sorry, who gave us a lift had consumed
far too much alcohol
down to the ferry. I get back at 6 o'clock in the morning. And all like, but it was worth it. You just went there and you played mixed blues, mainly blues, and it was worth it. There's a French violinist there who lives there as well. She was playing, she was good. The bass player was brilliant. I was like, how cool is that? Playing on the island of Gozo.
Yeah, again another experience that you may not have had if it wasn't for the saxophone.
And that's the whole thing. It's
wow.
That whole. It's opened up a lot of doors, put it that way.
Nice.
So yeah, and that was the Malta. Definitely recommend Malta. You could go there. You could take your guitar and you'd be well looked after. Well, I know you'd be well looked after this. So tell me you're coming. A mate of mine actually did that. She went across. She went across there, and I contacted Tony and Naomi, and they all sort of said, "Oh yeah, come with us." And she ended up singing in a couple of places and stuff like that. She was like, "Oh, this is cool."
Nice.
So it was nice. I like it. Yeah, Malta, highly recommend it.
Cool. Well, on that note, we need to get ready
for the blues jam.
For the Wooten Jam.
The Wooten Jam, which is literally 5 minutes from my
house. Right. I didn't realise how close you. Like now, I can see why you just rock up. Why you just walk up.
Yeah. That's just sort of rock up. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. That. And this doesn't have to be, like. This is just the start. I might come back and hear about how you got on at Granada.
Oh yeah.
The sax camp.
I'm probably not going to like my saxophone by the end of that. Oh.
A whole week of it in your hands.
A whole week. It's like.
But worth it though, like you say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of learning.
Yeah, but like I said, the learning's starting now because I'm hammering it. It's quite interesting when you always feel like the imposter in the room.
Right, yeah, I can relate to that, yeah.
And I always feel like the imposter in the room. And a lot of people see that as a negative. I think it's a good thing. Because it makes you try harder.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I do, I try harder. I was like, okay. And it's quite funny because I was playing something the other day and I was like, oh God, that was awful. Oh. Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, I would have aspired to play.
To play that awful, yeah.
To play that awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, Alec, thank you. Say goodbye to everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you very much, Brett. That was cool.
Thank you.